Hi.
Hello again. Welcome. Hey there.
Hey there.
It's another beautiful day. It's another beautiful day. It's another beautiful day. It's another beautiful day.
I got my coffee.
I've got my coffee. I've got my coffee. I've got my coffee. I've got my coffee.
Let's watch some stuff.
Let's watch some stuff. Let's watch some stuff. Let's watch some stuff. Let's watch some stuff. Let's watch some stuff.
Let's watch some stuff.
Let's watch some stuff.
Stuff. Stuff. Stuff.
Mermaid caught on camera. They are real.
Sometimes I find myself wanting to believe that mermaids are real. Just because of that stupid movie that came out years and years ago that was very obviously fake. But to have part of evolution happen on Earth and part of evolution happen in the water, it would be really cool to see that. I mean, I don't know that. I don't know that it actually does exist, but I kind of want it to.
Was the Great Wall of China built to keep the Chinese out? This is the mystery, because the fortified part of the wall faces China. Now, this doesn't make any sense. Who built the wall? See, many people argue that it was the Tartarians because there's three maps, one in 1603, 1623, and 1754, and these maps of Asia depict the historical area of Tartaria. But people argue saying that this does not prove the existence. This is still a conspiracy theory. So here's some facts. Tartar was a term used by the Europeans to describe several different groups of people. During the invasions in the 13th and 14th century, these people had destructive conquests and violent nature. So the term Tartars originated from Tartarius, the Latin word for Hades or hell. They were described as the Antichrist and they wanted to punish the Christian world. So is this a groundbreaking revelation or a conspiracy theory that needs debunking? Now here's the question, could the Tartarian Empire have been the ones that built the wall, and did they have connection with fallen angels?
Now that is interesting. The fortified side of the wall faces China, as if to keep the Chinese out of that other side. Oh, I never thought of that. I don't know how Tartarians would have anything to do with fallen angels. I mean, Tartaria was supposedly more recent, whereas fallen angels is the Anunnaki and Nephilim time, which is a lot longer ago, right? Yeah, I'm getting everything confused. So we've got a verb, which is build, and a place. Tartaria.
To all you Swifties out there, don't come for me. I'm just joshing. That's not Taylor Swift. That's the former high priestess of the Church of Satan, who looks a lot like Taylor Swift. That's pretty ironic, right? Because it's not like this is a coven of witches, right? Choosy lyrics. That doesn't look like a summoning ritual. Just speculation, right? And then someone posted this online.
Summon the demons!
Someone else was thinking the same thing.
The worst part is, she commented twice, and she says, is this the new 1, 2, 3, let's go B? So she's saying, is summon the demons the new crowd chant that they say when she does this witchcraft ritual?
Now to any supporters, I know I already posted this, but for some reason it's not showing on my account, even though it didn't get taken down.
Okay, so now she's satanic, and witches are satanic, although I know that they're not. They like do this whole earth and moon and sun thing, and it's not really Satan. But for the sake of argument, she's satanic. And that's how she's going to survive after the reset, is she's got her powers placed in the deal that she made with Satan. And it's all dumb. It's all dumb. She's just being theatrical. Come on, people.
We're disciplined and we're executing on it. It is my vision to take the next step to this, to go to the faith-based locales, and then move to private residence. There are residents who are suffering right now because of economic challenges. They have spare rooms, they have locales, and if we can find a way to get over the 30-day rule and other rules that government has in its place, we can take that $4.2 billion, 4.3 it may be now, that we potentially would have to spend, and we could put it back in the pockets of everyday New Yorkers, everyday houses of worship, instead of putting it in the pockets of corporations. And some of those corporations come from outside our city.
Okay, there was a little confusion there because the subtitles said House of Russia, but he definitely said houses of worship because that's where he wants to move before he starts invading other people's homes with these illegal immigrants. First, he wants to put them in the house of the Lord. Churches. All the churches need to house these people. And then once there's no more room for the people in the churches, they're coming to your house. Why? Because we can't make people follow the laws, apparently.
History is so much different than we've been taught. There was once a civilization that was wiped out because it threatened the profits of the oil industry. The Tartarian Empire was a society where they had discovered ancient knowledge about farming atmospheric energy. They incorporated special coils into all of their architecture, and their entire society was powered for free. They had also discovered how to manipulate frequencies and move objects, which allowed them to build beautiful architecture. This is the same technology that the ancients used to build the pyramids. This society was far better than what we have today, as free energy allowed for people to focus less on work and more on creating a strong society. These people flourished for years until they tried to spread their technology. The oil oligarchs recognized that free energy threatened the profits they could make from oil. For years, they slowly destroyed the society and rewrote history as if they never existed. This technology was hidden and is now likely located in the Vatican archives, along with tons of other advanced knowledge.
I find it extremely hard not to believe that. Totally believe it. Absolutely believe it, that there was civilizations and technology beyond what we have now. And they're covering it up. For why? I don't know. I don't have a why. I could sit here and make all kinds of things up and they would make sense, I'm sure, but I don't think I have the brain space to do it right now. Why don't you make some things up and let me know? Why are they hiding this technology? Why do they have to hide it? What are they so afraid of? I mean, aside from, no, I know why, but I'm not going to say it. You tell me.
So I was just opening up these 3 packs of chicken to make my, weekly chicken. And I opened this one up. What in the world is that? Why is it? What the? You're kidding me, right? Let's see if this one's. These look fine. These are about the same as normal. But anybody ever say anything like that?
That's gross. That's really gross. Here, watch another one.
That's really fucking gross.
I found multiple explanations for why the chicken is like that. Some say it's antibiotics. Some say that it's the breeding, how we're breeding them too fast and making them grow too fast, and it causes muscle deformation. I've also heard it's because of freezing. Let me know what you've heard. I'd really like to get to the bottom of this. And is it safe to eat? Because it doesn't look very... I mean, it's not appetizing at all, right? It looks gross.
This is one rabbit hole you're never gonna forget. Chances are, if you've ever eaten manufactured foods, you have eaten this creature. And interestingly enough, it has a weird connection between these two. Here we have your black bug. This is an Asian scale insect that lives on trees and produces secretions that are used in the production of shellac. When you first Google shellac, you'll see this. Shellac is a resin secreted by the female lac bug on trees in the forests of India and Thailand. Let's take a disgusting trip with this guy to see how and where this stuff comes from.
So come along and travel with me to the jungles of eastern India. The white threads seen on the incrustations are wax secreted by the insects through their breathing and anal pores. The lac encrusted branches are scraped and the dried lac is accumulated. This is called stick lac. It contains the dead insects and is crushed to break open the pods to release the red dye. The dye is used as coloring matter in the textile, printing, and food industry.
This part is especially creepy. Here, the Department of Agriculture tested this shellac for arsenic. The data show that all of the samples examined contained arsenic. Here, it makes it to our food as a resinous glaze. And apparently they need to add an alcohol-based solution to make it food grade. Of course, the FDA had to get in there and approve this stuff as quickly as possible. They're using just the right amount of arsenic, so we're okay. Nearly 100,000 bugs die to produce 1 pound of shellac flakes, which are combined with alcohol to make a confectioner's glaze. So we had your dead scale parasite anal secretion resin that we smash these dead parasites into, then add arsenic and alcohol so that it's safe to add to your food, beer, cosmetics, and much more. If you're wondering why you've never heard about this, it's because it's deliberately disguised. Believe it or not, this rabbit hole keeps going, but I think we get the point.
That's awful. That's disgusting. So it's, if you see confectioner's glaze, that's what it is. It's their anal secretions and just various other nasty stuff and the bugs themselves. Yeah, this is in our natural flavors, right? Natural colors, natural stuff that goes in our food. That's totally okay to go in our food. That's what we're eating. The shine on all of your produce is when they mix that stuff with alcohol into a spray so that it looks nice and pretty. That's gross. Jelly beans. It coats jelly beans, right? Anything that's shiny and has a confectioner's glaze, that's what it is. That nasty bug secretions. Sounds good.
Breaking news is not only did O.J. Simpson recently pass from cancer, but his whole team, and it's one big conspiracy. What is happening and what is going on? Guys, make sure and click the plus sign. I'm going to have more on this you don't want to miss. Sound off in the comments and tell me what you think. But if you've been following, you know that O.J. Simpson just passed at 76 years old from cancer. However, check out all the other people who also passed from cancer. This was O.J. Simpson's defense team, and they dubbed this in the media the Dream Team, the team that got him off. However, all of these people have from cancer. We have Cochran, we have Rob Kardashian, Francis Bailey, Rob Shapiro, and now we have O.J. Simpson. And it's left a lot of people to wonder, why did they all go from cancer? And what is happening? Now, they all went at different times, but it's interesting that they all went of the exact same thing. And a lot of people are wondering, is this karma? Are there more nefarious things going on? I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me your thoughts. Sound off in the comments and click the plus sign. I've got more coming.
Since this is all the buzz right now, I figured we'd take a look at it. I thought it was very interesting how they all seem to go in the same manner from cancer like O.J. Simpson just did. And they all had worked so hard to get him acquitted. So I had to look it up. Apparently, Johnny Cochran, yes, he did pass away of a malignant golf ball-sized brain tumor. Rob Kardashian, yes, esophageal cancer. Mr. F. Lee Bailey, his diagnosis was actually unspecified, and it was just recently. I think it was in 21. And Robert Shapiro is still alive, so like halfway right.
That skill is all AI. It's flying itself. Its processor can react 100 times faster than a human. The stochastic motion is an anti-sniper feature. Inside here is 3 grams of shaped explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents.
So that felt a little too movie-like for me, and I did some research, and that was in 2017. It wasn't as a proposal, but it was like, this is what we could do. So I guess it was like a proposal to a proposal, but it became like viral. Like it went huge. People are like, yeah, this is happening. They're called slaughter bots. I love it. And then they were like watching at the UN and all of these other places like, yeah, this is what we can possibly do. So that was 7 years ago. So it wouldn't surprise me if very shortly after that, this came to fruition. So we probably do have those, which is kind of cool. A little scary. But wait, there's more.
You mentioned in one of your last talks that petroleum wasn't what we thought it was, that it wasn't a fossil fuel, that it didn't come from fossil animals.
Yeah.
Is it just a mineral? Is it a mineral like any other mineral? Is that how it, what would you say? What's the origin of it?
You see, when they first found petroleum, because they were beginning to make motors and needed on axles of wheels on railroad trains and all that sort of thing, and remember trains started in the beginning of the 19th century, then oil went from just a lubricant to a fuel, and it made it valuable. And Rockefeller happened to be the smartest man in the business at the time, but he made most of his money, or much of it, off the transport of the petroleum as well as selling it. But one thing they realized was, because oil is putting a price on oil is like putting a price on a pail of water. You know, no initial cost. It's in the ground, and in those days they were, some of it almost what you'd call surface mining the oil. They didn't go down deep. So in order to get the price up, they hit on the idea that they would have to make it appear to be scarce. That after we take the next few barrels out, we're probably going to have to close this well, that kind of thing. Well, a very fortuitous event. In 1892, there was a convention in Geneva of scientists to determine what organic substances are. Well, the definition of organic is a substance with hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. And so it's usually a living substance, a tree. You analyze a tree, hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen, and grass, and so on, living things. Animals, we are hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. So at this Geneva Convention, Rockefeller took advantage of sending some scientists over who said, petroleum is hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. Therefore, it must be derived from the spoiling, the rotting of formerly living matter.
There are actually a lot of people that believe that it's not actually fossil fuels, but that Rockefeller said it was, so that's why it's deemed that. But I'm pretty sure it's been proven that it is actually fossil fuels. Now, I have a theory. I've mentioned it before, and I don't know if anybody else has said it also, but think about how all these billionaires are making these bunkers, right? Okay, so they know something is going to happen. And we've talked about the polar shift and how crazy that's going to be, right? And the Adam and Eve story. So if we put those together, so the billionaire bunkers are to protect them from this shift. Now, after this shift, when they emerge from their bunkers all safe and everything, they know where the population was. So in those areas is where the most concentration of oil is going to be, because it is a fossil fuel. And I don't think it takes nearly as long to become a fossil fuel as is said, like, it's dinosaurs from millions of years ago and now it's a fossil fuel. I think it's a lot faster than that, and I think that's how these people continue to be, they generationally become wealthy again. I mean, they have to wait a while, but they pass it down. They're like, oh, you're going to want to drill in these areas. This is where it's going to be. So that's just my little working theory. I'm still working on it. I got it kind of like, together. It needs to be fine-tuned a little bit, but that's what I've got.
Well, mine's a little dark. I just feel a lot of concern that 2024 may be the year of a black swan event. This is a national security event with high impact that's very hard to predict. There are a number of concerns that I have that factor into that.
This came out like in the middle of December 2023, and every single year in December, because nothing had happened already, people are like, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if next year something fantastic happens and it's gonna be devastating. Every single year. It just watch December 2024 after nothing happens this year. I know we're supposed to have Project Bluebeam, but when it doesn't happen, listen to everybody in December going, oh, next year, it's happening in next year. 2025 is gonna be the big year. It's just every year.
I want to make people sick. And what I do here is the virus is not necessarily the bug. The virus is what I put over the internet. Let me show you how I can crash a system pretty easily. I affect key individuals here, here, and here. And then I take another community in the back of the room. I affect key individuals there. And then I take another community. I affect key individuals there. And then I do what every good attributional group does. I beat my chest and take credit for it. And what I put out over the internet is, this is a virus, a bacteria, an agent that I have infiltrated into your fill in the blank. I say it's a weapon of mass destruction. And what I tell you it's going to do is it's going to produce paranoia, anxiety, and sleeplessness. What I've just done is I've recruited every paranoid hypochondriac to think that they have whatever that is. I've used salient and sentinel cases, and I create essentially a legion of what's known as the worried well. They now flood emergency rooms. They flood their clinicians.
Just goes to show that psychological warfare is very much alive and doing very well. They don't actually need physically harming weapons, right? All they need is plant that seed in your brain, just a little one, and watch it grow.
They are not from outer space. They are not from another planet. They are not from another galaxy. They are from here, planet Earth. They have been here for millions of years. They live in the oceans. They have thousands of bases beneath all the seas throughout planet Earth. Their technology is millions of years more advanced than human technology. They are the first intelligent life to live on planet Earth. This is their planet, not our planet. It was never our planet. Many governments in the world know about this and keep it secret from the public. Since the 1930s, the United States military has retrieved multiple extraterrestrial spacecrafts that would also retrieve biological alien bodies.
Now, this is one of my favorite theories, mostly because it has to do with aliens, and y'all know how much I love alien stuff. But they might not be aliens. They may have been here all along. And they might be in the ocean, which would explain why we're so intent on not exploring the rest of the ocean. I mean, we've got that 5%. That's always been like the number, right? We know 5% of the ocean, but the rest of it is unknown because we're not allowed to know it because they know that the aliens are there.
Way back in the early 80s, the Defense Intelligence Agency they had a highly classified program experimenting with time travel. And this was out at Nevada Test Site, which is now the Nevada National Security Site, where the nuclear weapons were tested years before. They built some special facilities out there to experiment in time traveling, trying to figure out how they could do that. Top scientists from all over the United States and some from the UK were there trying to perfect a method to open up the fabric of space, so to speak, in order to travel, either forward or back in time. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we had visitors, I'd like to call them, at the facility at Site Alpha. And one of the particular entities, although we couldn't fully communicate, but we were able to determine, and I don't know exactly how this happened, but the scientists were able to communicate in a way for them to explain something about how they move from one point to another in space. And then this is back in the 80s now. You can understand our understanding of a lot of different things, even pertaining to physics and astronomy, was a neophyte back then. We were just in the infant stages of understanding this. So we were able to, our scientists were able to grasp some information that was provided by this particular visitor, and they tried to adapt that. But unfortunately, you have to understand that the visitors' technology was hundreds or maybe thousands of years more advanced than us. Plus, we couldn't understand their science, and it was difficult for them to relate their science to us. But we were able to understand that that particular entity was able to move, not so much as during time travel, but moving forward and back in time. We couldn't understand exactly how they did it, but they were able to do that. And over the years now, jumping to after I left government service, I worked for the Institute for Advanced Studies at Austin, Dr. Hal Puthoff's facility down there. And there was some research that was done regarding this particular subject of traveling the time. Most scientists understand time travel to be only back in time because that's occurred rather than forward in time where it hasn't occurred yet. But there's strong evidence that we can do that now, even by just moving some atoms from one location to another, or a molecule of water, or the third element of water, tritium, of the molecule, from one point to another. We were able to do that, both forward and backwards. So to answer the question, yes, ETs can do that. If one particular species of extraterrestrials can travel in that manner, probably all of them could.
Now, in my mind, you gotta be a special kind of sick to sit on a panel and claim that this has happened, like the government has been doing this in front of a bunch of people. Or you're telling some truth, which is super exciting because aliens and time travel, it makes a lot of sense. Maybe they are us from the future, right? And it's evolved, and that's why there's a different language and there's a language barrier and all of, oh my gosh, the possibilities. I love it. I love it. We're time traveling and they're just hiding it from us because, I don't know.
Oh, y'all are going to want to listen to this. So there's this constellation called Andromeda. It's also named the Chained Woman or the Chained Lady. As you can see, the lady. The brightest star in this constellation is Sirius. Spell that backwards, Harris. But that's not all. In part of the constellation, there's a star named Sirius, which we just talked about. And then Almanac. Spell that backwards, y'all. Kamala, the Chained Woman. The Andromeda constellation is based on the Greek myth of Andromeda, a princess who was chained to a rock as a sacrifice to a sea monster. It's almost like all the stars have just lined up perfectly for what's about to happen.
So is she going to get eaten by a sea monster, or is that some sort of analogy? Oh, by the way, we're going to talk some trash today. Buckle up.
So ever since Trump got elected, my rights have been taken away from me, and it just keeps going. And I think I'm going to divorce my husband because he keeps taking my rights away from me.
I just said you couldn't have any more chickens.
Same thing.
What are you talking
Same
about?
thing.
I had no clue that that's where that was going to go. I just read the title and I was like, yep, we're watching that today. And that's hilarious. All right. I'm glad I put that at the end. We're going to call it for today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me.
Thank you so much. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today.
I really appreciate your time.
Please come on back in a couple days. We're going to watch some new stuff. 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 I'll say different things.
I'll say different things.
I'll say different things.
And it's going to be fantastic.
And it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic. And until then, have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. We're going to watch some new stuff. I'll say different things. And it's going to be fantastic. Until then, have a wonderful day.
I've got my coffee. I've got my coffee. I've got my coffee. It's not actually coffee though, it's tea because work went a little long, so I'm a big fat liar.
Still good.
Because why not? Because why not? Because why not? There's an impressive porpoise or something. No, not a porpoise, because the way the tail fin was. That's like walking up the stairs in your house and then suddenly realizing you don't live in a 2-story house. That's like taking a shower and realizing halfway through that you're allergic to water. I'm going to go back and watch it again because I forgot. That's like vacuuming the house and when you get halfway done, realizing your vacuum isn't even plugged in. That's like driving from California to Florida and finally realizing in Texas that you don't know whose car you're in. That's like going to Starbucks and buying a Frappuccino and when they call your name, you realize you don't even like coffee. I'm not going to say that. We're going to cut that part out. Civilization. When the civilization. There aren't really. I've seen a lot of evidence. Well, not evidence. I've seen a lot. Yeah, I guess it is evidence. I've seen a lot of evidence lately. I'm getting all mixed up. There's too many conspiracy theories running through my brain right now.
Here's my cutting room floor.
3, 2, 1.
I am coming down with something nasty. So, sounds a little iffy. As a globe propagandist myself, I don't buy it. I'm sure I can make up a bunch of reasons why, and they would all sound totally legitimate, but I'm not going to do that because I don't have that kind of headspace today. A testament to the advancement of the time. We were supposedly, I always say we. I'm going to keep saying we, that's my thing. I was there. While I was there back in the 7th or 8th century. That was me, I was there. I'm so sick. My medicine's wearing off.
Let's get back to chipper and happy. Okay.
That's right. The American breakfast was built around an institution for the mentally insane. There you go. We're all crazy. Let's eat some more cereal. Spices were supposedly what caused people to want to be all touchy-feely on themselves, and that's bad. So, yeah. Kellogg was a creepy dude. Kellogg was an interesting fella. The American breakfast is built around diddling yourself. Yeah, we totally aren't even close to cracking that code. Damn it. I can't wrap my head around the things that he says. I'm simple. Especially right now. My brain's not doing anything properly. I guess I should probably do more research before I go and say no.
No, we're not going to go with that. We're going to leave that one alone. Now, my understanding of, well, how else is she going to stay alive for many, many years after we all like get nuked in the reset, right? For why, I don't know. I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button. Subscribe. Yeah, I just don't care enough. She's a witch. Does it bother you? Doesn't bother me. I hope you consider hitting that subscribe. I can't say subscribe. Hey, that's interesting. I mean, yeah. Because I'm making a new video every day. Every day. All the days. See, today, I'm doing this again tomorrow. I did it yesterday. I'm going to do it the next day. Go, oh, no, that's unacceptable. Just take it out. We don't need that part. You know? Yeah, I don't know. Give me a second. The puppy needed up. That seems like an awful lot of information that has been rejected from the Bible. Just how I am. As far as that, I'm not saying anything else. I don't have my coffee. 2023, it was Will Smith and Jada And 20, when was it? It's just somebody we want to pick and put in the spotlight and break apart into a million pieces because, we all love the drama, don't we? After they win the Super Bowl, her fan base is going to grow. It's going to get even bigger. Big deal, right?
I totally believe that those are like alien surveillance drones.
I know. I can't disagree with the alien theories. I love them. I love aliens. I believe they're here. Didn't want to leave a second geriatrocracy. We're going to start over. Gerontocracy. I didn't want to leave a second gerontocracy video in there. That doesn't make sense in the science of my brain. I don't know how. How is that? And I don't remember what he just said. But then I was going to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't do that. But then again, maybe I should. And sometimes when I look over here, my eyes look like they're crossed. And then I look over there and I can see my eyes looking back and forth. Because I don't know which one to look at. I look at myself. And it looks like I'm looking up here. I should look outside. You want to look outside? It's the outside. That's where I'm not. Somebody else's backyard. Peeping Tom. Stop looking at other people's backyards. You need to look here. Here. Oh, I've been looking in the wrong spot the whole time. Sorry. So, kudos to that person for hooking me up with some solid words. Got my coffee. Come on. Let's watch some. Come on, you guys. What on earth is going on with our chicken? That looks almost like one of those hairless cats. Hairless cats, but it got like really super close to the camera. You can see my nose piercing. Got super close to the camera and it made its face look all funny. That's probably what it is. What do you think? Damn, my face looks terrible this close. I feel sorry for y'all. There's more. There's a lot more. I don't know. No, don't say I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, the Garden of Eden, not the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden. Oh, I'm not religious. On the Garden of Eden. Oh, the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden. The North Pole's a little frozen. And you don't want to be naked on ice. Politics. The politics, purely political. Now, I don't understand. To be political is politics. I think politics and political policy. Everybody has to be on a pedestal. I'm not sure why. Thank you. That's just a little taste. I do have a longer video, another video coming up. So hang with me. You'll see a little more gross. That's on our food. That's on our food. They actually came out and said our mold is naturally occurring and not harmful. So they're like, yeah, our drinks have mold in them. That's gross. My candle went out. Another one bites the dust. It's a good thing I got it back up. It doesn't smell as good as the Buc-ee's roasted pecans, but it's still nice. And the CIA had tested him, and he would only do once. He would only do telekinesis. He would only do this. Ew. Am I right? Ew. My nose itches, I'm sorry, but ew. Aliens on the moon. Aliens on the moon. Aliens on the moon. Why not? He could teleport his consciousness. Send his brain. So he would send his consciousness to the moon and see what was going on there. There we go. There's aliens on the moon. That's probably where they're just hanging out, waiting for us to do something. Because we're not doing anything.
Are you freaking kidding me with this blue bracelet? Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me with this blue bracelet? Are you freaking kidding me with this blue bracelet crap? BS, it's BS. This blue bracelet BS. It's BS. It's so stupid. Oh my God, I can't believe that people are actually doing that. Oh, now I'm going to be paying attention to see who's wearing a blue bracelet.